DeepCool just released this high-end air cooler, and it is supposed to be able to easily handle high-power processors like the i9-3900K, for example, and it should take on the most popular high-performing air coolers on the market, like the Noctua D15, which is a very big claim to make. So in this video, I'm going to compare these two air coolers side by side, and we are going to see how well this Assassin 4 from DeepCool actually performs, and if it's worth considering at all. Let's begin. The Assassin series has been around for a while now, and all of the previous versions have followed what you would call a standard design that has two big heatsinks and then two fans that are clipped to it, just like the Noctua D15 does. But the Assassin 4 here has a completely different design. It kind of looks like a giant block, and in my opinion, it is a lot cleaner than the old Assassin 3, and to be honest, most other coolers on the market, no matter the brand. The rear fan is nicely integrated into the main construction, and it doesn't need to be removed at all, while the middle fan that is actually under this magnetic cover is easily removable, and of course you kind of do need to remove it to be able to mount this cooler. It also has this very cool click design instead of the usual metal clips that Noctua also uses, which does come in really handy, especially if you already installed a big GPU in your system and there is just not much space left for your hands to put that old school clip in the right position. The whole construction is only 160 millimeters tall, and it has full memory compatibility, which is not something that you can say for the Noctua D15. Actually, in this particular build, I could only use very low profile modules because anything taller than that would offset the Noctua fans even more than they already are, while the Assassin 4 kind of sits more towards the back of the case, which leaves your memory fully visible, and you can just go ahead and use any modules of your choice. Now, the downside of this is that you might run into compatibility issues with a handful of specific motherboard models, so do keep this in mind and do check the compatibility list on the DeepCool website if you do decide to go for this air cooler. They also added a little switch on the top that lets you lower the maximum speed of the fans from 1700 RPM to about 1350 RPM, which is a very similar concept to Noctua's low noise adapter cables, except a switch is much easier to work with. Now, the Noctua D15 doesn't really need any introduction. It has been around for about 9 years now, and it is still one of the most highly regarded coolers on the market. I mean, just the fact that brand new coolers of today are still trying to reach D15's very high standard tells you everything you need to know about this cooler, pretty much. So I usually use an open test bench for my benchmarks, but that doesn't always represent a real-world scenario, especially when you want to see which cooler would be better for a typical build in a typical case. So for this video, I put together a pretty high-end PC using the i9-3900K, of course, in an ASUS TUF Z790 motherboard with a matching Radeon RX 7900 XTX GPU. And I stuffed it all in this mid-range, mid-tower case from DeepCool. So the case is big enough to hold both coolers, but it only comes with one single fan in the back. Now, normally, when you have a high-end build like this one, you would want to add another fan or two to the front of the case, but I actually didn't do that because I didn't want to make it too easy for both coolers. So I left it as it is. Now let's check out how they did. While stressing the CPU only with a 30-minute long Blender workload, what you want to see is that the CPU is sitting close to its 253-watt TDP. If you use a weaker cooler, it will drop a lot lower than that. But as you can see here, both the D15 and the Assassin 4 managed to keep the CPU running at its full speed. I would say that this small difference between them is basically within a margin of error. Looking at the temperatures, the Assassin 4 has a very slight advantage here, but both coolers are running the i9 in the high 80s, so if you do end up with a similar build to this one, I would definitely add a couple of extra fans to the case. Now, while the Assassin 4 is a bit cooler, it is also a bit louder. The DeepCool fans were running at around 1700 RPM, while the Noctua fans ran at just over 1500 RPM. Measuring at 50 centimeters distance from the case, it is about 1 decibel of a difference, which doesn't really sound like much, but it is actually noticeable. If you flip the switch to go to the silent mode, the fans would drop to about 1350 RPM, which actually made the i9 throttle. And if you manually drop the fan speed to roughly match the noise of the Noctua, that would put the Assassin 4 just a fraction of a degree behind the D15, which is again in that margin of error territory. So when you just stress the CPU, I would say that both coolers performed more or less the same. But let's see what happens while gaming, which adds some extra heat coming from the GPU. In Cyberpunk 2077 on 1440p, the CPU was drawing around 130 watts of power, and here the Noctua kept the case and the CPU temps slightly lower than the Assassin 4 at a similar noise level. Now, I'm not exactly sure why this is happening. I mean, it's possible that the open design of the D15 just works a little bit better when your build kind of relies on the CPU cooler alone and doesn't get any extra help from fans in your build. So in gaming, in this particular build, I would say the Noctua is just slightly ahead. Now, this cooler is going to cost you about 100 euros here in the Netherlands, which is the same price as the original brown D15, and it is about 10 euros cheaper than the D15 Chromax Black that I used for this video. Now, I'm not sure what the price will be in other regions, but I guess that DeepCool's goal will be to just slightly undercut the black D15. But is this Assassin 4 better than the Noctua? Well, I do have to say that it is definitely doing a very good job at keeping up with the D15. I wouldn't really call it better performance-wise. But both coolers did show that the super hot i9 3900K can be handled by an air cooler, which is pretty impressive on its own. Now, DeepCool did run a little bit cooler during a CPU stress test, but it also ran a little bit louder while doing so. At a similar noise level, both coolers ended up pretty equal, and while gaming, Noctua was a bit ahead. So on one hand, I would say this is a huge compliment for DeepCool because they built something that has definitely reached that Noctua D15 level. But on the other hand, the fact that brand new coolers of today are still trying to compete and to beat the 9-year-old D15 is also a huge compliment for Noctua. It is incredibly impressive that a product can still hold up that well and that it can still stay so relevant after that many years. But you do kind of feel its age when it comes to the design. I do think that DeepCool makes the overall experience just a little bit nicer. Its design is much cleaner, it is much easier to install it because of the fan click design, especially if you're just upgrading a CPU or just upgrading a cooler without taking your other hardware out. The silent switch is much easier to use than Noctua silent adapter, and of course, the memory compatibility is much better, so you have a lot more memory kits to choose from. So at the end of the day, I do think DeepCool did a pretty decent job here, and considering it will be sold for a similar price as Noctua, I do think it's a very attractive option and a very nice alternative to the D15, especially with builds where a degree or two of difference isn't as relevant as some of the convenience that DeepCool here offers. So just pick whichever you like more and whichever fits your build better. That's it. Now, this is all I had for today, but before I go, let's check out the sponsor of this video. This video is brought to you by Seasonic and their brand new Vertex power supplies. These fully modular power supplies are extremely efficient and very quiet due to their fan design and their hybrid fan mode that stops the fans completely under 40% load. They come with a variety of connections for any kind of systems you have in mind, including the new 12-volt high-power cable for the latest RTX graphics cards, and as a little bonus, you get a cozy 10-year-long warranty. Check them out using the links in the description below. Thank you all for watching, guys, and thank you for staying to the very end. I hope this video was interesting enough and informative enough. Do let me know in the comments down below which cooler would you go for and why. And while you're there, don't forget to click that subscribe button so you stay up to date with all my future uploads. Bye, guys, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye!